welcome back to my channel. My name is Pete, and today we are going to get started on another round of villager houses. We are going to do a nice little pond and jump path and music session for Henry and Brofina to enjoy right next to their houses. It was a lot of fun to build, and I'm super excited to show you guys, so let's go ahead and let's jump right in. We'll start off as usual with the terraforming. For this terraforming, I knew I wanted to have kind of another enclosed pond area, just like with the area behind resident services. That kind of like enclosure felt really nice and natural, so I wanted to replicate that for Henry and Brofina. And I also knew, since both of them have the music hobby, I wanted to give them a nice little space to practice their music. So we're gonna go ahead and make a couple of little cliffs, a nice little water area, and a nice little enclosure? A nice little enclosed area for them to enjoy and practice in. I will admit that I do genuinely love terraforming, but these sunken areas sometimes give me a little bit of trouble. They are like doing the terraforming in reverse is sometimes really hard to like wrap my mind around, and carving out these little areas is both very challenging and also extremely fun, mostly due to the challenge. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. And this waterscaping, my original plan for this little spot was to put a bridge where all of that is flat. It ends up not working out, so I do have to terraform it a little bit again later, but that's okay. I don't know why it wouldn't let me put a bridge there, but that's okay. It's fine. It works out. Alright, we're gonna lay down some pathing. I love laying down pathing too. It is fun for me. I like trying to, fix myself in that space and remembering which one goes where. I know it can be a little difficult sometimes to really remember which one I'm gonna be laying down, and I do get it wrong fairly often. But I do very much enjoy actually laying down pathing and figuring out how I want things to wind through the area and how that's going to affect, the rest of the build. But I was curious, do you guys enjoy pathing more with the custom design tool and laying it down? Or do you guys prefer to do it with the construction tools? I've seen a lot of people do that, and I personally do not enjoy it as much as doing it this way, but I'm curious to see how you guys do it. It's a fun a different process. But we're gonna go ahead, we'll lay the pathing down, and then we'll lay down this little pond. Alright, time for the trees and the bushes and the flowers. We're gonna make sure all of this space is as lush and beautiful and as full of a forest as we can make it. This area is going to be kind of in that same vein as last week's video, where it is more in the woods than it is part of the village. So I wanted this area to feel very alive in terms of foliage. So lots of bushes, lots and lots of trees. I've stuffed a lot of trees in there, and lots of flowers. just to make it feel really, really full. And as you can see, we had to re-terraform around that little lake to make sure that it has a little hot path instead of a bridge. Originally, when I was first doing this video, I was planning on doing the houses themselves separate from the music area, but then I realized it wouldn't add that much to the runtime if I just did them both together. So here we are. We're gonna lay the pathing for the actual houses down. It's a cute little winding path across the hop, and we'll put Brofina on top of the cliff and Henry on the bottom. And I know it is a very narrow little cliff here. I got a little bit lazy and I was a little bit unsure of where I want this cliff, how far I want to extend it. So I'm gonna play with the terraforming a little bit later, but for right now we need just enough to get an incline in there so that we can make it up to Brofina's house. Which means we can go back into adding all of our trees and shrubs, bushes and flowers, and making sure that they are living as securely in the woods as the rest of the area. Alright, we are all done with the lushification, which means we can move on to actually placing items. So this item right here well, item in this little tiny area is actually going to be a little hint of the area that we're going to work on next week. So we'll see if you guys can figure out what kind of area we'll be working on next week from this. But in that little space below it, we're gonna set up some cool stuff. And then right here, we're gonna start setting up this lovely little music spot, like kind of like a little festival spot, kind of like a little place where they can just, you know, gather and hang out and enjoy a nice evening making music. So I really like how this little area turned out. It's super cute. But with the little acoustic guitar and the piano, I thought it turned out really nice. And then of course we have all of our mushroom items that are going to get placed around as well. Plus, we will go ahead and give a nice little seating area for Brofina, because she feels like a classy lady. She's gonna have a nice outdoor seating that's gonna be really good for her and all of those visiting guests that she's gonna be able to entertain. And then right down here on this little rock, we'll place another little, maybe more private seating area where maybe she and Henry are hanging out and making their own music without any other supervision. And now for the pond, we're gonna go ahead and of course add lots of rocks, lots of grass standees, lots of wheat fields, and make this whole little pond feel super natural. And I'm also going to start placing some like actual rock items. I've been using these stones, like the custom codes on the ground, but I haven't been really doing a lot with the rocks themselves, which I think is a missed opportunity. So I'm going to start adding in those rocks because that also makes it feel, you know, like it is a living forest that is capable of change. And these big rocks, I find rocks in the woods all the time. I find them all the time everywhere. So it's a lot of fun to try and utilize those in the ACNH builds as well. Alright, it is final pass time. We'll add in a little bit of extra flowers, all of those lovely little drops, along with our weeds, glowing moss, and vines. And there it is, our beautiful little pond with a nice little hot path. I know the villagers can't use the hot path, it's so sad, but it wouldn't let me fit the bridge. It looks fine. I actually personally really like the hot path. It feels more natural. The music area where they can hang out and chill, and I've already seen them use it like a couple of times, so that was a lot of fun to see my villagers, you know, actually use something. So yeah, I hope this was enjoyable for you, and I hope to see you guys next time. All right, bye bye.